Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.
There are those that just want to be left alone, and those that just won't leave them alone. Which one are you? The Ernest Hancock Show.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, from the beautiful studios of Freedom's Phoenix. FreedomsPhoenix.com. Freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. I'm going over just some of the stories today. I mean, let me tell you how I start my day. This is how it works. I come in and I go to Freedom's Phoenix. I'll go ahead and show you here on the video how this works. I come in and I go, okay, what are the stories? What are the stories? What are the stories? And then I go to different places. We got in the search there. It says media news, and I have some favorites that I go to, and I just know where I can get some interesting stuff. And I open them all up, and I just go. I pick this story and this story and this story and this story, and you start doing some things, and then I start getting a lot of emails from people. I check my email. I'll probably do that first because I get a lot from readers and so on. Then there's reporters on the site. They'll put stuff they think is interesting up there. I got regular columnists and editors and writers that put some stuff up. Pal Gamble, the senior editor, he goes through the previous evening by 10, 11 o'clock. He's done. He puts it up. The newsletter gets sent out at 1 a.m. Now, the reason we send it out at 1 a.m. is because the East Coast morning news shows and everything use Freedom's Phoenix a lot. And that was one of the reasons why we did it the way we did. When we first started doing Freedom's Phoenix, I'm a radio talk show host here in the Valley. I'm a producer. I'm working for a network. I'm doing all, I know how it works. It's called Rip and Read. Now, they have their favorites, and a lot of times it was in a fax. It was either faxed to them by, the military, industrial, Republican, New World, Empire Order of the whatever, neocon something, and they send it to them, and you would hear the same stories on every network, every nationally syndicated radio show. They were told what was the important stories. As a producer and a talk show host for Charles Goyad and have my own show, we would go through, and Charles he'd do a lot of reading. He'd really be focused on economics and the war, and I'd be looking at a lot of other stuff. So we would bring that together, and we would look at, we're going, nobody's reporting on this stuff. Nobody knows that this happened. Nobody knows that the Fed did that. Nobody knows that, the expansion of the war and blah, blah, blah here. Nobody knows that, this law was passed and what they're doing with the yada, 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 yada. Nobody knows. In 2005, I started putting together Freedom's Phoenix because I started doing video, and we already had it in my head, and we started doing it. I would take and accumulate, because there's no way we could get all this stuff on the air. But what we decided to do, Pal and Tiger and I, we go, all right, this is what we're going to do. We'll go ahead and advertise in Talker Magazine. Talker Magazine is a large tabloid magazine that goes to every radio station, all the talk show hosts, and it's where you see, Rush Limbaugh and Laura Ingraham and, Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly and all these guys up there saying how great and wonderful they are, and you need to have our show on your station, okay? So what a lot of people didn't know is there are libertarian sympathies throughout the industry everywhere, and even, some we know, work at the magazine. So we're just going, look, man, can we get good placement, and we'll play this, and we'll do that, and we'll, they put us in the ads for Freedom's Phoenix in every cover story for over a year. We have, no matter what they were doing, yakking about something, when you went there, man, you're getting a good dose of Freedom's Phoenix, and it said, Freedom's Phoenix, top producer's tool. Be at least as informed as your audience. Because that is exactly what was going on. People that were calling in to talk radio were way more informed than oftentimes the host was, because the host is not there to inform you. They're just a cog in the machine. They're there to just put their spin on what they're supposed to penetrate into the matrix from the bad guys. So I'm going, all right. So we would created Freedom's Phoenix and had a bunch of the goodies, and we would send out these newsletters that and market for it, and a lot of media would subscribe to it. Now, as time went on, and we went through a lot of different things and Levolution and all that, now we have probably between 2,000 and 3,000 media that subscribe to our newsletter twice every day. That's why at 1 a.m. it goes out and it gets to the East Coast in time for their morning shows. If we have, on a rare occasion, I probably count them on one hand over 5 years that we've had, the site just went down for any length of time and they didn't get, man, I'm getting email. Hey, I can't do my show, man. I don't have any information because they get so addicted to it because it's really good information. Well, that's the whole point. I didn't care if I got credit. Hell, I'm linking to a bunch of stuff other people did anyway. It's just on page C14 where nobody's seeing it. Important stuff that we put on the front page. Front page, you need to know this, or at least be aware. And then, of course, we have a wide radar. We have a lot of things, and technological advances, so we'll go over some of that in the rest of the hour. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that, at least they had the capacity, but also that people could just bypass the lamestream media, the media that's so last century, and become their own media. In fact, you can become a managing editor of your own edition on Freedom's Phoenix. At the top of the page, the horizontal navigation bar, you'll see right here. When I click over, now we'll go ahead and make it bigger so you can really see it in the low-res YouTube that we do it, so Sarah doesn't have to take 5 years. I go over a special edition. You'll see all of these special editions that come down. Like I click on wallet voting. There she is. Now, the thing that I wanted to make sure you guys had the capacity to do was everything that I can do. Freedom's Phoenix was not about me being able to put out what I wanted. Of course, I get my flavor on the front page of the Global Edition. Pal Gamble takes all the stuff, accumulates it, sets up the dispatch that goes out at 1 a.m. He does it by 10, 11. Then it goes out, it gets dispatched. In the morning, I get up. Well, there's a lot of people in the East Coast that submit stuff. Heck, they've been up hours before we get up. So I take and I, position it, put it on the front page, get it all nice and pretty, and which one should go to the top, and so on. And that builds up. We got another 30 to 50, 60 stories that are there for the afternoon edition that goes out at 1 p.m. So every 12 hours, except on Sunday and so on, we have 2 Freedom's Phoenix that goes out. We are generating a lot of traffic. Now, we turned off a lot of the search engines that go through us because we have over 120 to 200,000 headline entries over 5 years. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Imagine 50 a day times 5 years. That's a lot. So what we do is we have a big site that they search, and it is just, wearing down on our ability to service it because, you got Russian search engines and China and every military thing and NSA and CIA and plus, everybody else like Google, which is about the same thing anyway. But, so we go, all right, we need to turn it off for a few months and get our back end done and get it all nice and the processing and all that computer geek stuff, let them deal with it. Now we're just now starting to flip it back on. We are skyrocketing in our traffic. We knew we would. Now we're adding on some more site optimization stuff and a couple of guys that we've hired over the next few months to start promoting Freedom's Phoenix on the internet as just in social networks and so on. This is where you guys can help. I mean, it's time to start really, getting this out for people like a damn. Now, each one of the stories, when you go into a story, I'll go ahead and show you here. On the Junk Silver application, this is a good example. You go in here, it says email link. You click on email link, and then all you do is just put the emails you'll send it to. You can put your entire database in there, and it goes and it gives you an option to subscribe them to the newsletter. You just click right here. Do you want them to also get the newsletter? Is that spam? Well, it might be you spamming them, so don't be a butthead. Do it to people that you know. But this is going to be very effective in getting the word out because we're near the end. When we come back, I'll show you why. This is Ernest Hancock. I'm publisher of freedomsphoenix.com and the radio talk show host of Declare Your Independence. Now, I want to give you my personal endorsement of a wealthy U.S. citizen that is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He's produced a video for you. It's a real eye-opener, and I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to watch it. www.endofamerica, the numbers 1 and 7.com. endofamerica17.com. This video has the history of how we got where we are now and where we're going and why. Now, it's a lengthy video. It'll be about 20 minutes, but you need to watch this so you understand what's going to happen to this country and how you can protect your wealth and even benefit financially. Now, you go there. It's free. I want you to watch this video. You need to have this information so that you can survive the economic collapse that's coming to America. It's not if, it's when. That's End of America, the numbers 1 and 7.com. After you watch it, you'll understand why I endorse it.